You know, one of these days, I might redo that intro, but I kind of like it right now. What do y'all think? Welcome to another episode of Rewind with Besa. Of course, I am your buddy Besa Gordon, and this week, we are going to talk about a lot of different events that are happening in the city over the next few days. We're going to talk about some new music that dropped, some local news, some national news, and of course, we have to get into some personal things about me. Honestly, you guys, I really think that the average person doesn't really know much about Besa. So I think it's important that I take the time in these different episodes to really, you know, give you guys some tea about me while, removing some of my band-aids, some of my scabs, and potentially helping some of you guys do the same, okay? So let's start out on a high note and let's get into these freaking events, okay? First and foremost, I did not know that we actually have an event here called Seattle Art Fair. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Seattle Art Fair. I know I surely have not. However, it looks really, really cool. And obviously, a lot of people know about it, and I just didn't know about it. If you guys have ever gone to the Seattle Art Fair, let me know and let me know how it was because honestly, it started yesterday and it's going until Sunday, I want to say. So, literally, we all still have time to grab our tickets and pull up together. So, if you're going, let me know. And if you've gone before, let me know how it was. Now, in terms of things that started today, Capitol Hill Block Party started today. And I keep telling myself over the years that I'm going to take time to make sure that I do have, you know, my Capitol Hill Block Party media pass so that I can go in there, get footage and stuff like that. But honestly, I just keep forgetting to apply, so I haven't gone. Kind of sad about it because I would have loved to see Flo Milli. And honestly, we're gonna talk a little more about Flo Milli later on once we get into the music section. However, in more music news, Blast is going to be in town. He'll actually be at Showbox Soto tomorrow. I don't know if the tickets are sold out, but if they're not, I suggest you pull up because Blast always puts on a good show. And it looks like starting on Sunday, the 70th Annual Jubilee Session is going down at Goodwill Missionary Baptist Church from July 24th through July 27th. Now, fun fact about Goodwill, that's actually the church that I grew up in. My mom and her twin sister and my uncle, they still go there. I literally was I don't want to say the word like I was christened there, but I was like blessed. I was probably like about 2 or 3 months old, and Pastor Sampson was still the was still the pastor. And I remember seeing photos, and I say I remember because somebody a couple years ago actually broke in to my building's garage and they stole my suitcase that had my freaking baby albums in it. So I don't actually have the pictures anymore, or maybe I do. I don't think I do, but if I find it, I'll put it in here. Either way, Pastor Sampson like held me up, blessed me in front of the whole church. So, child, I have been in and out of Goodwill for years. Either way, that is where this convention is going to be happening at. So if you are into the gospel vibes, I definitely suggest you guys pop up and pull up and show out. Now, in other local event news, not today, child. Sunday is going to be the Seattle Sound Music Festival happening in Tacoma. The homie Louie is not the only one that's performing. It's actually a whole bunch of people that are performing. This is just the only flyer that I ended up grabbing before I left the house. And also on Sunday is the all day and a night official day party. It goes down from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. This event is being put on by Rise Up Productions, Cuddy Productions, Converge Media. The food is getting sponsored by Catfish Corner and Music Wise. Look, you got the homie Bass Kid, DJ Bankhead, DJ Yachty, and so much more. So this is actually going to be a vibe. And I don't know about you, but I definitely will be in the building. So make sure you guys pull up. And in other event news, Charlie Onna Friday is doing a show at Barboza. Now, if you guys remember when I used to do New at 10 on Cube, Charlie Onna Friday was actually one of my picks because his music is so good. It was going viral on TikTok, and I'm just very, very proud of what he's been doing with his music, and his fan base is just growing like crazy. So look, if you want some extra artists out here in Seattle to support, Charlie Onna Friday is one of them, and I also have another local artist that you guys need to be supporting, and we're going to talk about that after we get into the news because, child, we gotta talk about what the heck has been going on. Now, a first thing that's been going on, and this is actually pretty cool, you guys. Des Moines has decided to test out a ferry route that goes directly from Des Moines to Seattle. Check this out. The city of Des Moines has announced a 2-month pilot project for a passenger-only fast ferry between Des Moines Marina, I think I said that right, and Belle Harbor Marina in downtown Seattle. The service will begin on August 10th and run through October 9th. Now, during the first week, which is going to be August 10th through August 15th, it's going to be free, okay? However, after that, trips will cost $10 for adults, and children between ages 13 and under, they will get to ride free, and seniors and active military will cost $5. Let me tell you something, you guys. As someone that lives downtown and does not drive, I'm totally down to jump on a ferry and go out to Des Moines because Des Moines actually has some really, really good food. So I would totally be down to maneuver that way. So I'm going to try it out probably the first week of August. That way I can ride to and from for free and really give you guys my thoughts. Actually, you know what? I don't know. Because let's be honest, when you have these free ferry rides and these free kind of trips, it gets real crowded. And I would rather go on there and relax than have to be on there when it's really crowded. So maybe I'll wait until I actually have to pay. We'll see. Either way, I'm going to check it out and let you guys know what I think about it. Now, in other news, of all things, New York is reporting the first U.S. polio case in nearly a freaking decade, okay? Check this out. Apparently, the person that ended up catching this polio is obviously in New York, as I just said. And apparently they are not polio vaccinated. They're saying that they don't know how he ended up catching it. He's not contagious anymore, but they're trying to figure out where this came from because apparently the guy hasn't left the country in a minute. So they don't even know if other people have been infected by this. So be careful because between these new COVID strands that are coming out, these freaking monkeypox, and now polio has entered the US, I just feel like America is getting real ghetto if it already wasn't ghetto, and I'm just not happy with it. Like, I just feel like we pay too much money for everything in order for things like this to be slipping through the cracks. So hopefully they figure out how this man ended up catching polio sooner than later because, like they said, they don't necessarily know if other people have gotten it. So this is something that needs to be caught real soon before, never know. It might start going rampant. And I'm not trying to sit here and be dramatic, but let's be honest. When monkeypox first got to the U.S., everybody was like, oh, whatever. Well, now it's starting to play hopscotch. So look, be careful out there, you guys, because these diseases are doing too much. And frankly, I want no parts. Like, literally, I just got a notification earlier today from Portland saying that people should start wearing masks again. So if I never told you anything, it is to be careful. And, don't feel bad if you don't want to have physical contact with people, okay? Don't feel bad if you need to go to the grocery store and have a mask on. You are protecting yourself. Now, with all that being said, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. And of course, when we come back to Rewind with Besa, look, we got to talk about these new Instagram updates, which are really, really dope. It has to do with video. And we are going to talk about some new music that recently dropped. So, of course, stay locked to Rewind with Besa.
Echo, you savage.
Big night, baby, eating that roof Chris. Short temper, so you know I'm kinda ruthless. Bad pass, roll one, time to elevate. Yeah, part time smoker when I medicate. Big step, a couple hoes up in the Dino. Fly 'em out to Vegas, couple just in the casino. Mean rep, I had to earn it, others buy it, money burning. I work harder, I deserve it. You a groupie, you a bird. I'm a
We are literally on our way back from Vegas. We had an amazing trip. Got some good interviews coming up for you guys, so definitely stay locked for that.
Look like water on my island. Long way from running from the siren. I've been hella fly, I'm a pilot. I get what I want if I like it. Like it, yeah. If I like it. If I like it, yeah. If I like it.
What's up, Birds Media in the building? Yeah.
We're gonna have to come back to Vegas real soon because it's really lit. Welcome back to Rewind with Besa. I hope that you guys are having an amazing time, and I hope you had enough time to run to the bathroom, refill your water, get a snack, or at least stretch out or something, okay? Look, I really want to talk about these new Instagram updates because I think it's important for everyone to really be ahead of the game because here's the thing. Here is the thing. When Instagram does these updates, when TikTok does these updates, when YouTube or even Facebook does these updates where, they kind of start tinkering around with the features, they really want you guys to utilize them. So in this particular case, they are doing some updates on Instagram video and how we actually use video on Instagram. So look, check this out. And once the video is done, we'll talk about it.
It's no secret that we've been trying to make Instagram do better by video while still doing right by photos long term. And this week, we have a number of announcements about how to improve Reels on Instagram. The biggest being that we're going to now have one video format on Instagram. We want Instagram to be simple and easy to use, and so all videos moving forward on Instagram are going to be Reels. And that doesn't mean that every video has to be a dancing video or a lip syncing video, but it means that when you create a video on Instagram, you'll have access to all of those tools. So there'll just be one video format on Instagram, and it will be Reels. There are a number of other updates coming to Reels as well. The first of which is templates. So if you go to the Reels tab and tap on the camera, at the bottom you'll have a templates option, which will show you a bunch of different Reels ideas, because sometimes we just need a little bit of inspiration. And you can quickly and easily make a reel that's yours with your content using a format or a structure that someone else might have done that maybe inspires you or speaks to you. The second is a number of improvements to remixes. One I'm particularly excited about, because photos are so important to Instagram, is the ability to make a Reels remix from a photo, which I think is a pretty cool idea. But there's other improvements too to remixes. New formats, so picture-in-picture, green screen, and top-bottom instead of just left-right. And the ability to add a video at the end of a video or append it as another form of remixing. And then last but not least, dual camera. Because why not take advantage of all the cameras that are on phones these days? Now, there are a lot of updates this week on Reels, so please let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if you've got other ideas about how we might improve Reels or Instagram more broadly, comment with those as well. And I'll see you next week. Peace.
I think that's pretty dope. So check this out. Let's rewind this real quick. Reels and videos are going to merge. They haven't necessarily merged yet, because if you actually go on your Instagram, and I purposely updated my app today, you still have a tab for Reels and you still have a tab for videos. Last time they said that they were merging these two, and they actually did for a little bit. There was only one tab. So we'll see if they end up getting rid of one of the tabs. But for right now, at some point, Reels and videos will be exactly the same. And like he said, it doesn't mean that you always have to be dancing or anything like that. It just means that you're going to be able to do the same thing. Like if you were to make a video that was like, say, 10 minutes, you would have the same abilities in terms of editing that video that you would with a reel, which means you would be able to add music to it. It means that you would be able to do reactions with it and add pictures to it. And as you saw, they're adding even a picture-in-picture feature. So I'm actually totally here for these new features, because honestly, what it's giving is TikTok 2.0. Right? Because a lot of the stuff that they're adding, you can already do on TikTok, but TikTok videos are only 3 minutes and Instagram videos are either up to 45 minutes or an hour, one of the two. So I'm really intrigued to see how people are actually going to use these new features. Like I said, some of these new features are already there. For example, Reels templates, those are there. Sometimes you'll actually look at someone's reel and then you'll see a little thing that says use template. You can't necessarily save it, so hopefully they'll make it to where you can save it. And I think I actually might have missed the part where he said where you can find those, but Reels templates are lit, because it literally makes it to where if I see someone that does a video, right, and that particular video has clips and little video moments and it all goes with the music, I don't have to recreate the wheel, okay? All I do is click template, and then it makes it to where as I add in my videos, it automatically does whatever it needs to do. So if you ask me, it kind of does kind of like a, you know how like if you actually go on TikTok and then you click auto and then it automatically syncs up your videos and photos with the song? It seems like it's going to do that, but a little more customizable, if you will. Now, I've yet to actually do Instagram's remix. I might try it one of these days. I do like that they're adding in a green screen feature. So, of course, we'll keep an eye out for all of these Instagram IG updates. But in the meantime, between time, look, let me know what questions that you guys have about Instagram. Put them down below, and maybe I'll do a separate video about them, or maybe I'll even have it be a topic on one of the panels that I do about social media. Speaking of panels, we did have our Real Seattle Media Mixer earlier this week, and it went very, very well. I cannot wait until next month, and I really can't wait till you guys find out what I have planned for next month. So stay tuned for that. And of course, shout out to the Real Seattle Media Mixer sponsor, which happens to be Friends of Waterfront Seattle, and of course, Converge Media. Now, in music news, I had no clue about this until I logged into my iTunes, and Neo just dropped a new album, okay? He dropped a new album called Self-Explanatory. I have not checked it out. I'm not even gonna hold you guys. Have not checked it out. However, Neo has never done me bad, so I'm going to check this out. And once I do check it out, I'll let you guys know what I think about it. Lizzo also dropped a new album. It's called Special. Now, I did check out this album, and it's really, really good. What I really like about this album is that it's a lot of self-reflection, right? You know, it's a lot of music about loving yourself and loving others. And there really isn't any music, at least for me, that makes me sad. It more so made me reflect on things. Like there was literally a part where I was listening to one of her songs and I was dancing to it and moving around. And the song is called I Love You blank. And I was singing the song, and then I literally looked in the mirror and I just started crying, because in that moment I was like, damn, I really do love me. I really do like the person I'm becoming. And it kind of shook me up a little bit, but I liked it, so I kept dancing. So look, if you want an album that's going to make you feel all the feels, okay, some warm and fuzzy, some a little confusing, but you know, you'll be all right, definitely tap into that new album, Lizzo Special. And speaking of it, child, she has vinyls. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've been wanting a vinyl for a minute, okay? Check out her announcement about the vinyls.
Hey, retro girlies. I got vinyl for you. About damn time. I mean, I've got vinyl for you. This is the special vinyl. And also, what? We have the Target edition. Pull out your little vinyl players and put this on your vinyl ski and just rock out.
Now, I'm not gonna front. I've been wanting to get a vinyl record player for a minute. And a lot of artists don't really come out with vinyls anymore. So it just kind of made me feel like I would have to really search for the artists that do have vinyls, and then also search for all of the old school songs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna order my vinyl. I'm gonna like finish shopping around. I really haven't found one that I truly like yet. But once I find one that I like, I'll take a picture of it and let you guys know how I like it. And I will definitely be buying this Lizzo album in a vinyl, along with a whole bunch of other old school albums. Like legit, I'm going to start a collection. Why not? Now, in other music news, as I said, Flo Milli, who, like I said earlier, is going to actually be at this year's Capitol Hill Block Party, which starts today, just dropped a new album called You Still Here. I have not checked that out yet, but Flo Milli also has not done me bad. So I'm going to check it out, and I'll let you guys know what I think about that also. And locally, Two-Paid TK dropped a new song called Desire, and this is actually the music video for it. I'm not going to play the song because I don't need any copyright moments, okay? However, I definitely want for you guys to continue supporting our local artists, because people are always complaining and saying that, you know, nobody supports the local artists, da. But yeah, when we have good ones, nobody really wants to support them until they're like super duper big. So Two-Paid TK, super dope. Louis, super dope. Charlie Onna Friday, super dope. Support them now rather than later. All right, you guys, we are going to go to another commercial break. And when we come back, we are going to talk about what I have been up to over these last couple months. Hey guys, Besa Gordon here. And before heading to Belize, Trey Holiday and I had to make sure we linked up with our good friends over at Market Street Shoes to, of course, grab a few things for the trip. From bags to socks, shoes, sunglasses, earrings, and more. Before going on any trip, make sure you stop at Market Street Shoes. Trust me, you'll find just what you need to make your trip not only enjoyable, but fashionable. Welcome back to Rewind with Besa. Of course, I am your host, Besa Gordon. And in terms of what I've been up to, child, I've been really, really busy, but more so, I've honestly been working on me. So let's talk about it. So a few months ago, I'm not gonna front. I had a night where I went out with my friends and I got super duper lit, saw some pictures, and I was like, this will not do. Okay. This too shall pass. But right now, this will not do. So honestly, I had to have a talk with myself about how much that I would drink whenever I would go out. And then I also had to have a talk with myself about how much I would drink at the house before I would go out, and then how much I would still drink once I was out. And I really had to be like, girl, this is problematic. Why are you doing this? So what ended up happening is once I stopped doing it for a little bit, it made it to where whenever I would go out, I would actually, and I still do, I notice other things, right? Like, for one, I'm able to actually remember when I meet somebody. I have a tendency to be super lit and people can't tell that I'm lit. So they end up giving me their cards and their phone numbers and they want to like talk business. And I am very, very coherent a lot of the times, but people just can't tell. So that ends up being problematic when I see them again and they're like, girl, we had like a whole conversation. What do you mean you don't remember meeting me? And a lot of times it's very fixable. I can be like, oh, girl, I'm sorry. I was too much tequila. And then it's like, oh, he, ha, ha. But sometimes it could be that wrong contact that you don't want to jack up, right? So that's one thing. Another thing that I started really, really noticing, and I don't know if this is a Seattle thing, I don't know if this is an introvert thing, but I noticed that the main reason why I will drink like a whole bunch of wine before I go out is because of my anxieties, right? So it's like, I want to go to a mixer, or I want to go to a concert, or I want to go, anywhere really, except for like the grocery store. But anytime I would have to be social, I just really felt like Besa without wine or tequila or something to kind of give her a little extra boost is really boring. It's very mild, it's very chill, it's very antisocial. And it took for me to get more comfortable in just being Besa and what Besa represents and what Besa means to not only others, but just shoot myself, to realize that those anxieties were literally just me telling myself lies and assuming that I'm no fun when I go out, or assuming that I look crazy when I'm like trying to dance or whatever. It's like sometimes you might look crazy, but if you're having a good time, nobody cares. Have you ever seen some of those most people, like some people that have the worst dancing skills aren't even necessarily lit, but they're just having a good time, right? They're letting go. They're being free. They are literally living in the moment. So it really took for me to start living in the moment and then talking to others when, say, I would invite them to the Real Seattle Media Mixer, right? Hey, girl, or what's poppin'? You should come to the mixer. You'll meet some new people, and you might get some new business contacts, whatever. And a lot of times, Seattleites will literally say, I don't know. I don't really talk to a lot of people. I don't really get along with a lot of new people. And then sometimes they'll come, and a lot of times they be the main ones that be super lit. And they're really, really quiet until they start drinking. And then, child, they don't drink too much, because half the time when I see them and they come in, they've already been drinking. And then they continue drinking throughout the night. And then at that point, you're at a whole freaking event that there's no reason for you to be that lit at. It's like unproductive at that particular point. And it just really made it to where I sat there and I started noticing that. And I started really reflecting on my own self in that, and how I have the same tendency to sit here, come out the house, and drink before I go out, just so that way I can feel more social, just so that way I could feel more comfortable. So I literally just had to make myself real freaking uncomfortable and start walking around super sober to realize that I can actually have a good time and not necessarily need to be super lit. I can actually have a good time literally just drinking my tonic water and minding my business and still be the life of the party. But it's one of those things that I would not have known had I not taken the time to try it. So I would say, if you are someone that has any type of drug problems, or you have any drinking addictions, or if you have like an issue with the amount of alcohol that you're drinking or anything that you're using, you should really ask yourself why. Like, really sit back and think about what am I feeling like when I'm like really trying to hurry up and get this last shot before I leave the house? Personally, I don't drive anymore, so y'all ain't got to worry about that. If I'm leaving the house after I've been drinking, I'm hopping in an Uber. So, but you really want to ask yourself those questions as to why you're doing those things and as to why you feel the need to have to literally be inebriated in order to go out and have a good time. Like, once you get to a point to where you figure out why, once you get to a point to where you figure out why you have to do all of that, I just feel like it's not going to be peaches and cream. Like, I really hate it when people be like, oh, yeah, all you have to do is have this one epiphany and you're good. It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. It does not work like that. Okay. It's always possibly going to be a battle. It's always possibly going to have to be something that's in the back of your head. I actually sent out a really, really long text message to like about 30 people that I really, really, consider to be either close friends or people that I just think are important to me. Right. And I sent it to them, not because I needed them to hold me accountable, but I felt like it was one of those things where, girl, you've been trying to do this stuff for a minute. So at this point, you just got to say this out loud. Okay. And when I say it out loud, doesn't mean tell your one or two best friends. No, it means tell the people that you actually kick it with that you know are going to potentially try to get you lit, right? Tell the people that you kick it with that will know that you might be drinking tequila and then they want to give you a glass of champagne. I personally cannot go mixing tequila and champagne, okay? However, that's a conversation that I had to have with my friends where I'm like, look, if I've already been drinking and you're kind of looking at me like, can she? Just say I can't and leave me alone, right? You know what I'm saying? It's not saying that, people have to hold you accountable, but for me, I think it's one of those things where it's so much easier to backslide when you haven't told anybody because nobody else knows. Once you tell everybody, they're not necessarily going to think about it every single time that they go out with you. But from time to time, they're going to sit there and they're going to have a moment where they remember, oh, yeah, she is working on her drinking. Maybe I shouldn't offer her a third shot. You know what I mean? Or maybe I should just, let her get that water. Because sometimes, you'll go out with your friends and you'll be like, oh, I'm going to just have a tonic water or, oh, I'm going to just have like a glass of juice. And they're like, oh, you're so boring and da, da, da. But you have to remember, if you didn't tell them that you're actually working on yourself, how the heck are they supposed to know? So you definitely got to let people know what you're dealing with. You don't got to let the whole world know, but just people that you know that you hang out with that are going to be around you a lot. And again, it's not necessarily to hold you accountable, although they will have it in the back of their heads, right? But it's more so for yourself to know that you put it out there. And at this point, you can't go backwards. I mean, you can do what you want. As far as I'm concerned, if you're watching me, 9 out of 10, you're grown, right? But why would you want to? I think that's another aspect of it. You have to think about, why would I want to go back to overindulging in food, drinking, heck, any type of drugs, like, don't get me wrong, weed is great, but some people abuse weed too, okay? If you smoking to the point where all you doing is sitting on the couch and you just hot potato, you ain't getting nothing done, that's problematic. That's problematic, okay? I will literally have a vape. I'll probably hit my vape 1-2 times and I put it down and I'm on about the rest of my day. I'm not like, I used to literally smoke until I felt high. Like, I needed that. I don't need that anymore. Okay. Smoking these days is more so of people tolerance. And it's more so of a way for me to eat, because a lot of times I'm moving so fast that I don't always get hungry. And then also it's a way for me to just focus on whatever I'm doing, because depending on what strand that I'm smoking, I'm actually able to focus a little bit more. Or, if it's late at night and I can't sleep, I might smoke an indica so that way I can get some rest. So, I'm using it more medically these days than abusing it like I used to. But, again, It's no judgment. I am literally just telling y'all what I've been up to these days, okay? Letting you guys know what's been working for me. And if what's been working for me is something that you want to try, go for it. Just make sure you talk to a doctor about it, because I sure did. I guess what I'm saying is, if you feel like you can't control it, then you should actually really go get some assistance, right? I literally have just had a huge come to Jesus moment and was just like, girl, you cannot do this anymore. We have too many things going on, too much writing. We need to get this together. So again, am I perfect? No. But do I beat myself up when I'm not perfect? No, because I'm trying. And I know that I'm definitely doing better every single day. So anyway, you guys, we are going to go to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about baseball beyond borders. Stay tuned to Rewind with Besa.
Damn, Echo, you're savage.
Big night, baby, eating that roof Chris. Short temper, so you know I'm kinda ruthless. Bad pass, roll one, time to elevate. Yeah, part-time smoker when I medicate. Big step, a couple hoes up in the Dino. Fly 'em out to Vegas, couple just in the casino. Mean rep, I had to earn it, others buy it, money burning. I work harder, I deserve it. You a groupie, you a bird. I'm a
We are literally on our way back from Vegas. We had an amazing trip. Got some good interviews coming up for you guys, so definitely stay locked for that.
Look like water on my island. Long way from running from the siren. I've been hella fly, I'm a pilot. I get what I want if I like it. Like it, yeah. If I like it. If I like it, yeah. If I like it.
What's up? Birds Media in the building. Yeah.
We're gonna have to come back to Vegas real soon because it's really lit. Child, we gotta talk about baseball beyond borders. Welcome back. Of course, you are still watching Rewind with Besa. I am your host, Besa Gordon, wishing you all nothing but amazing vibes on this lovely, lovely Friday. Heck, this lovely weekend. Look, if there was ever a week and some change in order for someone to rent out a boat, this week and some change coming up is a good time, because once it starts hitting about 100 degrees outside, I'm not sitting on anybody's boat. I'm going indoors to air conditioning. I don't need those kind of problems. I know I'm Black, but my skin is real sensitive. Anywho, you guys, when it comes to baseball beyond borders, Converge Media presents the trailer for Reconciliation Tour, a soon-to-be released short film that documents Seattle's baseball beyond borders Kings' eye-opening journey through the heart of the South to Jackson, Mississippi, and Montgomery, Alabama, a journey which included baseball, civil rights, and reconciliation. Look, we have the first trailer right here for you guys. I have watched maybe about a minute of it, and then usually something happens and then I have to stop watching it. So with that being said, let's get into the teaser for Converge Media's Baseball Beyond Borders.
A team really just means all the people just working together to do stuff. And I really like being on a team, because I can't beat nobody with just only me. I need help.
You're in the heart of the South. We're here at the John and Vera Mae Perkins Foundation. We're here running a baseball camp, working with youth from West Jackson community, just trying to inspire them. The history of baseball in the Black community started with the Negro Leagues. And with that, it created opportunities for community to come together. It was a piece of the culture. Baseball is an opportunity that really it socializes, it really allows ourselves to create a social norm in our communities that we once had, that preserves a cultural legacy.
I think a lot of the kids that we worked with while we were here had never really played baseball before, especially some of the younger ones. You're kind of just introducing the game to them. You kind of see it through their eyes for the first time, and they hit in a batting cage and they take a couple swings and they make contact, and then it's an honor to be there for that.
Our work continues to change the landscape of baseball and softball, particularly the systemic structure that's in place. We have to continue to find ways to uplift communities, to really see baseball and softball as a viable option. One, because it's the only sport we've ever owned, but two, it's also our ability to preserve the cultural legacy, because we know play can heal.
Athletic opportunities affirm the dignity of the people. And quicker than we know that we as good as others, and that they can be like you and I can be like them and we can be like each other. That's a good time. Let's play together.
Come play for us, and it's easy to bond with us, it's easy to bond with me, so it's kind of like a second family.
You are able to bring kids to a different community like Jackson and then take them to Montgomery. You're starting to expose them to voices that haven't been heard. We're seeing a lot of the struggle of the civil rights movement, and we saw it in Jackson. We'll see it in the museums in Montgomery.
I just wanted them today to realize you have an obligation. You've been told, you've been challenged. What you do with it is up to you, but you can't say no one ever asked you to get out there and try.
Man, these kids, I'm just telling you, it's real exciting here, but it's also a big eye-opener for our young kings from Seattle to really see something different. I'm just hopeful that our young people will take something away from this, even more than baseball.
Just from the 2 days that we experienced here in Jackson, what I saw inspiration. I saw hope. I saw an ability to be something.
Come out and play with me is a beautiful thing. Let's play together.
Now, I wish I could give you guys the tea on when the full documentary is actually going to drop, but I don't even know. So look, I don't even know. I also don't even know when the next trailer is going to drop. So we're all just going to have to sit and wait on pins and needles until it comes out. But that was really, really good. And honestly, I'm very proud to be at a media company that is more than just, recording, different shows. Like, we literally can do films. Hello. So look, I want to know you guys' thoughts on baseball beyond borders. I want to know your thoughts on different addictions that you may be working on, or you may know of someone that is working on an addiction and maybe they need to watch this episode and you need to share it with them. So tag them in the comments. And in the meantime, between time, look, I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your weekend. I gave you a lot of events to check out. If you missed them or if you need to watch them again, definitely scroll back to the beginning and check out all those amazing events that are happening literally between today and Wednesday. Okay, I got you guys covered. So until next time, make sure you guys keep up with me on social media at Besa Gordon. And of course, keep up with me on all of my radio stations. And as always, make sure that you keep your energy high.